Hi, my name is Esteban Kelly, and I am a worker owner and trainer facilitator with AORTA, which stands for the Anti-Oppression Resource and Training Alliance. We're a worker co-op, and we provide different kinds of training and sometimes conflict resolution for different groups. So I want to share some of our practices and approaches to how we deal with conflict resolution, and you can follow along. So I'm going to share a slide for you to follow along on how we approach conflict resolution. We've outlined these basic steps. You'll see there are 5 here to set yourself up for resolution. So overall, there's 5 things you should keep in mind. We'll go into some of them in detail. The first is to set yourself up for success. That involves a lot of things, carving out enough time, making sure that you're in a neutral space, taking care of some physical needs, and just making sure that you're not in a space that's going to be difficult for you to have tough conversations. The second is to really ground the process once you are there in person, having check-ins, setting up community agreements, and setting intentions. That is another piece that we'll talk about in a module in a little more detail in a moment. The third is really the guts of the process when you're getting down to it. So being able to have time for everyone involved in the process, and we don't assume that it's 2 people, it might be 4, 5, 10, who knows. But a moment for everyone to be able to really talk about what is happening and also talk about how they're feeling. We separate that out as an initial moment where they're describing what's going on, and they're allowed to be a little more selfish if they need to be selfish, or just grounded in their own perception of what's happening. Now that changes when you get to stage 4, which is where you start to build in a little more of a looking beyond yourself and thinking about a process, thinking about a dynamic, and talking about what you actually need. As well as what you want. And I'll talk in a moment about how we separate out your needs for actually addressing conflict from your wants, things that would be nice. Finally, what we kind of call as the last step in the resolution process itself is talking about what you're going to do, what commitment you're going to make to resolving the issue. And that could be based on what you hear from the other person. That could be a commitment, a group commitment to having regular conversations in the future, or to flagging tension before it becomes a full-blown conflict, or to always reaching out for a conflict resolution facilitator in moments that are tense. It can include any number of things. So that is our overall steps toward resolution, conflict resolution, that AORTA uses when we're facilitating processes. And in a moment, we'll go in depth in another module about our framing and about the process for facilitating a conflict resolution process.